Hello, everybody. This is Katherine Clement in Boulder, Colorado, and this is our weekly wellness Zoom. And it's a beautiful day here. It's like spring. I had to put ice in the ice chest again, which is hilarious because I've had to keep my food in an ice chest to keep it from freezing up until this point. So the weather's a little wacky, but I'm loving the sunshine and happy to be here today with two of my good friends, Leilani Brond and Ethelyn Schaeffer, who is an expert on pain. We had one of our people that listened to the call was with us last week, ask us if we would do something on pain. And actually, this whole wellness Zoom was birthed because of pain. And that was why, because I really didn't want people out there suffering in pain, feeling like they had nobody to turn to, because we lost several people in our pain community to suicide. And it's a huge deal. Like people, obviously everybody has pain. Some people experience pain very differently from others. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess we're just wired differently. I know I was a registered nurse for 20 years, and I've seen um, like research papers where they've actually, they can show where somebody can have all these messed up discs in their back and they don't have any pain. And somebody else can have like this one little bulge in a disc in their back and they have all this pain. So, and then this might scare you guys if you don't know it, but I've known it for a long time. They have even done studies. I know it's not ethical in my mind, but they've done studies where, for instance, they'll put somebody to sleep, like they're going to go in and do an operation on their knee, so say knee replacement or something, and they like cut open the knee like they're going to replace it, but they don't really replace it, and then they just let them wake up and tell them they replaced it, and then some people have relief of pain and some people don't, but it's like it's so weird how pain works. And for people who have been in pain for a long period of time, like myself, I see how it gets ingrained in your body. It gets ingrained in your nerve pathways, and you really, I think, have to build a whole new neural network, basically, of pleasure, and like reprogram your body for pleasure but there's also some very easy things that you can be doing that can be putting you in pain. And that is where my friend Ethelyn Schaeffer is like a complete expert. And she is helping people. She can talk to you and help you find things. Like for me, she was able to target something that I was doing that was increasing my pain, even though I was trying very, very, very hard not to do anything that increased my pain, but I was inadvertently doing something. And thank you, Evelyn. Ethelyn, I haven't shared with you, but since you sharing that with me and me making those changes and in my how I do things, I have not had. I think I've only had the stabbing pain like a couple of times where it was, sometimes even daily. So that's huge. That's huge. And I was just, uh, for those of you that know me, there's this guru that I like called Muji Baba, and his birthday was the other day, and I was watching some of his stuff, and I was actually watching a piece that he did on pain, and God only knows, we're so divinely directed. I'm actually going to write in and find out who this woman was, because he has people that come in front of him and ask him questions. And he had a lady that came in front of him to ask him a question on pain. And she was describing stabbing vaginal pain. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this poor woman has PN and doesn't know it. And they typically sit in what they call Indian style with the legs sort of like a pretzel, and if she's sitting like that, she's putting direct pressure on the pudendal nerves, doesn't even know it. And I hate to say it, forgive me, Muji Baba, but I know they were trying to be compassionate from a spiritual standpoint, and directing her to how she was causing some of this pain in her life. But on the same hand, it came across extremely non-supportive, non-compassionate. And because I have known people personally that have taken their life to this pain, it really touched me in a major way. Like, I'm going to have to write in and find out who this lady is and make contact with her. Because pain is real, you guys. And you can say it's all in your head. And technically it is, right? Because that's like where the nerves connect to the brain and like how we feel it and stuff. But at the same time, and even if, I don't know where you're at spiritually, a lot of us think, we chose this lifetime and we chose all the things we go through. Okay, that's all good, whatever. But I'm telling you, when something is stabbing you like a 12-inch butcher knife in your vagina and anus, you don't want to hear that shit. I'm sorry, but you just want some relief from the pain, So, Ethelyn, I want you to come out, and because you are so compassionate, and you would listen to people, and that listening to me is how you found out what I was doing that was increasing my pain. And if I could just give everyone your listening skills in the medical field, oh my God, we'd have miracles every day. So come on out and tell us what you have to share.
Katherine, thank you very much, Katherine. And I am so glad you have improved. I was waiting to hear from you how you're doing. I just know that the principles that I have learned that God has taught me are so simple and so accurate and so proven and they're so full of results that I know it can help everyone. And to tell you the truth, everyone, I have not spoken to Katherine, in 3 to 4 weeks or something. And I only told her this one little thing to do. I described why and how and all that. We talked about a few hows, but we had to get going. So she knew that I understood what was going on. I understood anatomy, physiology, and she knew she had to put it to work because she knew it was right. And she never could figure it out, even though she was a nurse. But I tell you the truth, doctors can't even figure it out, and they've got these big degrees. Orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, world-class athletes. They don't figure it out because they just are blocked from that knowledge for some reason. But thank God he revealed it to me, and I think Katherine is right that it's because I'm very listening. I'm a coach. That's what I do. I listen, I hear, I give feedback, and I continually learn. But I think that if Katherine would have come back and talked to me more as a coachee, then I think she would have gotten even more results. And I wish she would come out and see me so that I can give her massages, because even more results will come from my massages. Yes. And she knows it. She's just too busy to come. So, and in a way, it's sort of hard to follow some of the instructions, but that I've learned, but they're going to be worth it. And at least people will have choices, and I'm so glad you are listening to a lot of other people, programs, wellness programs, etc. And you're hearing people in pain, and you're compassionate, because that's what we have to do, is get these answers out to people. And so, do you want to ask me any questions, Lilani or Katherine?
Do you have any questions, Leilani?
Let's see. You have me on mute, or can you hear me?
I can hear you
Yes.
now.
Okay. I know you had muted it. Well, I'm like Katherine in some degree, but yet totally different. I too also have pain all the time, but a new pain that I developed since December is like right below my shoulder blade, more so on my right side than my left, but it does occur on both sides. If I sit too long, or if I'm upstanding or walking too long, it just is like a throbbing hot poker just jabbing me. And I'm like, okay, is this from the radiation I had? I mean, this is new. What is causing this? And so I'm like, I've got to start figuring out what to do to get some relief, because I'm not one for taking pain medicine either. I just don't believe in taking pharmaceuticals.
Yes, yes. So it's just more recent, isn't it? More
Yeah.
recent. Yeah,
Yeah.
long time. Otherwise, you have pain in your whole body.
Just my pelvis area, because I've had 2 major surgeries and 8 weeks of radiation.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Well, see, pain is an acidic state. That's what it boils down to. Your body is actually very inflamed, and one of the signs of inflammation is pain. And that's what pain is. It's saying, hello, here's a sign, a stop sign or a yield sign, and you're saying, stop, do something. And it's saying, you're doing something, please stop. We have to figure out what that something is. So one of the signs of inflammation is also an acidic state. So we have both the localized acidity and the systemic acidity. Do you have a medical background, nursing?
I do. I've been a nurse for 40 years. And I drink alkaline water. I have my own SD501 alkaline machine, so I've been drinking alkaline water for like 8 years now.
That's wonderful, wonderful. And yeah, the alkaline water, and that's the top of the line there. But alkaline water can affect in certain ways, but then there's other things we have to do. There's when we have a acidic system, the Kangen water, particularly more than any other water, would be highly antioxidant. I, however, have switched to hydrogen water, and that's what I'm drinking now, because there's no oxidation in there. It's just antioxidant, which is hydrogen. But so you want to reduce the acidity in the whole body, because the formula that I have is inflammation equals acidity equals pain. And you know, if you hit your finger with a hammer, it would be painful in that area, and it would be inflammatory, and it'd be acidic. For some reason, it would be acidic. But you want to have a nice alkalized body that the blood is flowing through, and it's going to that finger to heal it and bring the new and wonderful alkalized material to it to build up and de-inflame. So you have to have a system that is alkalized as well as a localized area. And I deal mainly with musculoskeletal. However, the whole program does reflect also other body parts as well, because it's a systemic problem always, because you have to have that flow of nutrients to any kind of localized area. So whether someone has fibromyalgia or cancer or diabetes, there's definitely systemic inflammation. We have to go to a lot of causes of systemic. And I find the number one thing is our diet. And that is mainly of our diet, it's beverages more than the foods, because we're doing that. It can affect quickly. Beverages can go in quickly, and we can drink all of a sudden a big quick dose of something inflammatory. And thirdly, we don't even know we're doing it because it's so accepted in this world. Would you like to know what we're going to say?
Yeah. Well, Katherine knows that she did spend 3 weeks with me in August and September. And I mean, I have radically changed my diet. I don't do no processed food. I'm totally gluten free. No sugar at all. So I've lost 42 pounds, but I'm thinking, this is more muscular because it just cropped up.
I
Well,
think you need body work. She needs body work, Ethelyn, because she had and I know she doesn't mind me saying this. She had a complete vaginectomy. She had weeks of radiation, and she had a really major insult, emotional insult, just a few weeks before she herself was diagnosed with cancer, or she lost her father. And so she's had so much stuff happen. And I don't believe you've ever been one to really have body work. So you've got all those years of nursing trapped in your tissues, and you've got all those emotional upsets. I know that there was some dissonance around the way your father passed, very difficult for you emotionally, not just the regular emotion of losing your father, but conditions that you were not able to control at the time. And I understand how that affected you. We got to talk about that a little bit. And I'm telling you, your body holds every bit of that, doesn't it, Ethelyn?
yes, it really does. However, it takes very little to rid it of that. It really does. It can be done quickly. You know how it's done? Just talking to someone. But someone who knows and not denies, and they aren't saying, oh, now you should just, whatever, all these silly things people say. But someone who knows that it's healing to let that go, also that it can be a cause of can I say cancers and disease in particular, but especially cancer is a very acidic disease. In fact, cancer can be a bitter disease. It's actually some of the ancient writings about it and homeopathy and all that's going on, it's bitterness. And so different diseases have a certain emotional word that's attached to them, and that's the word that's attached to cancer. So like constipation would be holding on to something. Diarrhea could be, I don't know what diarrhea is, but it could be, trying to get something out of your system, like, get it out of here. Headaches can be, I don't want to think that thought, get it out of here, I don't like that thought, just different things. Heartaches, actually, heart problems can actually be heartaches. I absolutely know this. I've actually done studies on Alzheimer's and cancer, especially breast cancer and various things. I've just done a lot of studies. So I just give people feedback. That's why I'm a coach. I give feedback and I just bring things to light. And when you bring things to light, people go, oh, and it just disappears because the light brings freedom. But if you deny it and say, well, no, that wouldn't be, you aren't even letting the light touch you. But you have to have a good kind of coach that listens and just comes towards you. And if there's a possibility that there could be something, then I just sort of, bring it up. And if like the light hits you, it hits you. How should I know? I just have the knowledge, and I'm just sort of walking around with the issue, and all of a sudden the light hits you, and it's like, oh, I was set free without, you don't even know you're set free sometimes. You just sort of let it go as you're going along life. It's like, oh, it's like, it's sort of the thoughts in here, but it's not encompassing your whole body of being in life, So it's a part, and it's an important part, but we should be more whole in our lives, that we can talk about it. We should be around people that are listening and are uplifting us. If they put us down when we have any kind of disease, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical or spiritual, then they shouldn't be in our lives. And I'm sorry it looks like we should all be alone, but I think we need to interact, not always be with one person unless they're with us too, because they want to lift us up. But just being with one person, maybe living with them or something, is not always life-giving to us because we're beholden to someone. it's not allowing us to grow unless that person is willing to face any truths that are necessary to make your ultimate good. But your ultimate good is not selfishness. It is wholeness. Wholeness that allows you to give. And giving is loving. Loving is giving. Love gives. And so when you can flow with love and kindness and interaction without, well, you know it when you're dancing around, and you have to do that. It's just how this world is. But when you go home, you think about stuff and you go, oh, I'm glad I'm here and in this place in my life. That means you're glad with yourself. If you're not glad with yourself and you go, I should be like that person, or I should be in that situation, or I should have that or something, then you're not happy with yourself. But if you're happy with where you're at, the things, the people you're with, and the things you have or things you don't have, you're just happy, content, then you can help with those boundaries and keep yourself, I want to say, content and more discerning of everything around. And when it's in childhood, like Lilani probably doesn't have to deal with anything. If you talk to her about maybe heartaches or her family situation, she probably already brought it to light, and now she just has to let it go and it's already let go. The light has come, but the light has to heal. It's like every day, it's like it's gone. It's not that you even think about it. You don't even think about it. Now you have to just deal with the consequences, which is the upset body or mind or soul. Such as I haven't had a good relationship with my sister for many years because I draw a boundary and she wouldn't want my boundaries. So, okay, I guess I have to pull myself away. And that's some of the things you have to do. And when you can interact, go in and out of someone's life, which we all have to do, then you can start establishing things, see if those people listen a little more, and interact with them in various ways. And you grow stronger as you go in and out of people's lives, because we need people, we need to interact with people always. And then you're more content, you're starting to make yourself whole in that way. That's the mental, emotional, and spiritual ways that we deal with things. You grow, and then you interact, and you grow, and you think when you get home. You just lay there and you feel your feelings, and then you respond to them. You don't ignore your feelings, and make sure that you don't hear yourself say should, because if you do, it's like, I think I hurt myself. And then you go, I probably shouldn't do that. You never go, don't be saying that. What's that going to do? That's not freeing. It's not taking you to the next step. But if you say, oh, I just said should to myself. Then you go, oh, I shouldn't do that. No, you say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not, and you just keep growing out of those shoulds, It's fun. And we're always going to be growing. I think one of the things, if we can imagine ourselves on our deathbeds, whatever that is, and we're peaceful and we go, and you're still searching for light and love and interaction and giving, then if you can imagine yourself still searching and wanting that light and love and interaction and giving it, then you know that you can give all your breath and all your energy till then as well. But you still say, no, I don't want that person in the room or something. We're still healing, loving, and giving of ourselves every day of our lives. And when there's an impossible or difficult person in our lives, we just have to draw boundaries, come away, and feel good about it, because it's their problem. And that's one thing we say to ourselves. It's their problem. And if we can't admit that, we have some things we're working on, not that we have to should ourselves about anything, should ourselves, then we should never should ourselves about any of our problems, nor of anyone else's either. So the only two people that can should us is our parents till we're 12 years old, because they are training us. Or if we, well, okay, 3. If we sign up with a, if we ask someone, even if we ask someone for advice, they should, I was thinking like a personal trainer. Well, you should like get a little lower with your knees as you want to take off or something, or if an accountant, you should add it in that column. I mean, a teacher in some way might say should that we could listen to. It's a correction, you know what I mean? But so parents in our younger years, and I feel even as we get, I just never said should or anything to my kids. So, but anyway, the other person is God, and he just says it because it's to be the best thing for us. But even as a parent, like, you shouldn't walk in that mud puddle. I wouldn't say that. I would say, don't walk in that mud puddle. You're going to get your pants dirty or your shoes. And when they get older, it's like, oh, there's a mud puddle. Well, they already know that's going to get your pants dirty. Well, if they don't follow that hint, I'd say, well, if you get your pants dirty, you can't go into the store with me or something, or you're going to have to go home and clean them. Or if they're older, you say, you're going to have to work to pay them off because I'm not going to buy you new ones. I mean, you just sort of put some consequences with it. But we don't do the shoulds, and we just have to catch ourselves doing that. Lalani, tell me what questions, you're bored there. Tell me what questions you have about pain. And I'm just talking about our overall growth, and in our beings and protecting our beings. It's, I would say that the emotional and spiritual thing comes one of the later things of it's one of the last final straws that cause, say, cancer, diabetes. It is mainly the physical realm. It really, really is mainly the physical realm. And it's an acidic state. But I'm just saying that bitterness and, disappointment and pointing the finger at someone, that's disappointment. And, well, what's appointment? Appointment. I'm appointing you. I'm appointing you the fault. That one just came to me, so thank you, God. So disappointment is when you are like, you're not on your appointment, and you're probably pointing someone else. You're blaming someone else, But the emotional and mental stuff is just like a final straw that we're accidentally, got stabbed with, or we've been accumulating like disappointment, and we get after many years, it's just so much, and we get just like enough, and then we go, I'm not going to do it anymore, So it can be like that, or it's a big disappointment, It can be either any of those, but it's not disappointment, it's bitterness. But I'm just saying little things like disappointments and things like that, anger, I don't know. I'm not being specific. Anger would probably be blood pressure and headaches and things like that. But they're minor compared to the physical. All we have to do, I had a guru say once, and maybe I said this last time, Nalani, that he was testing me with some energy testing, and he said, it all starts with the spiritual. It all starts with the spiritual. It all ends up being spiritual. Starts with spiritual, ends with spiritual. And then he was testing me some more, and he goes, no, I was wrong, which is, unusual for someone, but that shows humility. I was wrong. It starts with the physical. It starts, well, let's say someone was molested. I mean, that's a physical thing. Or someone was spanked, or someone was pushed out of the way, or left to die. That's physical. I mean, just things start in the physical, then we have an emotional response of it. Even if we see something, seeing our loved ones being hurt or something, that's physical too. If you never saw it, you probably wouldn't be so as bitter or angry, But anyway, I thought that was wonderful for him to come back and say it all starts with the physical. Either the bad thing or the return of our health starts in the physical. And our spiritual and mental just come along. But, and as we accumulate the physical and start doing the right things physically, then we start healing emotionally and mentally and spiritually, because what we're doing in the physical realm changes, especially the spiritual, which of course along the way is the mental and emotional. So we need to do changes in our life for the physical realm. And like you say, I bet you have really seen a lot of changes in your life since you changed diet. I mean, maybe your emotions and heart. I mean, things in your other parts of your being, right, Lonnie?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
My whole focus changed, and everything I look at now is different. So yeah, I've done a complete change.
Well, happiness and hope. How about that? You're more hopeful because before it's just going down, 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 down. And when you start getting hopeful, you start getting happy. It's just everything changes around, but it's not going to be like that. I mean, just hearing the words and the answers and that there is hope really will make you more hopeful, of course.
I think how we react to things is a big, answer in itself.
Yeah. When you find answers, like I gave Katherine knowledge with my program, when you find answers, it sparks a little hope that there could be possibly, I don't have to be in this state, which I'm irritated with, which makes me frustrated, which, can add all those emotional words to it, and angry and vengeful, whatever the words you want to add to them. But it starts at the physical and then we get better. So we want to get the spark of hope by bringing you truthful and right answers. And, like my sister goes, well, what do you think about this diet or that diet or whatever? She's got some ailments too. And I says, just keep it simple. And if somebody starts going that way, it's like, I'm just, I taught her how to hear her body a little bit more and listen to it. And then another thing I said to her is, she says, I said something about chemo and radiation. I just wanted to check with her if she wanted to do that. And she goes, well, I don't want to, but they want me to. She's a previous LPN as well. And I says, well, you have to choose now what you want to do. Now you have to have a total direction what you want to go in. Because once you're in that office, just for checkup, they're going to politely convince you to go the correct route,
Mm-hmm.
So and all the reasons, they have their ways of doing that. And if you don't want to, and there's a conflicting when you get home, some people get well with, combining them both, but you have to have a knowing that you're going to get well too.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes our bodies are so depleted that going their route, it takes us down so much, physically down. And then it was hard to get our hope and everything up if the things that we're doing is taking physically down. But you do whatever you want to and have to and need to. But sometimes along the way we can say, well, this one treatment and then that's all, or whatever. The boundaries you want to have. You say, listen here, it's my life. I decided to come in and see you, and I decided because you asked me. When I walked in this office, you didn't say, you're going to do this, 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 and this. You said, I'd like to have you do some whatever treatment, and I'd like to see you do this and follow this. They'd always say it like that. They didn't say, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. they weren't owning your life, but they were doing it in a passive way. And they allow you to make the decision, which is it really a decision if they're going to force you with their entanglements, or are they giving you these two options? You can do chemo, it's going to cost you this, it's going to whatever. We're just talking about this today because, I mean, I could be talking about fibromyalgia or diabetes or whatever, because it's all the same thing. It's inflammatory, and that's all I'm talking about. So it doesn't matter what the disease, the way they present the answers, whatever the specialist is or whatever, they just want to offer you what they have. And so if we are coming there to see what they have, we let them know in the beginning, I just want to see what you'd have and what you would recommend. I may not go with your program. I'd like to have a diagnosis or whatever you'd like. You just sort of, and I'm thinking about going natural. Is that something you could work with? And could I stop in the middle of any treatment you say and just go off and do something natural without any obligation that you are responsible in any way for my health, well-being, or choices? And you get that known right away. And because without that autonomy, you can't make choices. And without choices, you cannot have happiness or, and without that freedom, you can't have hope. I mean, if someone forces something down your throat, you have to do this. And I believe the healthcare profession will be ending its dominance over us. It no longer owns us. We own ourselves, and they need to understand that in order for us to be well. So the question comes, do they want us to be well, or they want us to be in their system? I'm sorry, you take over.
I think they're wanting in the system because these doctors, and Catherine knows I said this, I actually told the radiologist, oncologist office, said, because I had asked them, both of them, what they had for suggestion for alternative treatment. And the radiologist, oncologist said, I only know chemotherapy and radiation. And that opened the door for me. And I said, yeah, and the only reason why that's all you have is because the big pharmaceuticals have brainwashed you and you don't know nothing else. You're so closed-minded. And then you got your hand out, gimme, 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 and you're so greedy that you got it so much. I mean, he just looked at me because I nailed it on the head.
It's like, I think you're one of the anti-establishment persons here. And Catherine, you are recording this. Hopefully you turned the record button on. Good. Well, anyway, what for a nurse to say, Lonnie?
I just tell them how it is.
Well, what right do you have to tell me about that,
He was great because I went down there to do an underground treatment on her, and I needed an oxygen tank, medical oxygen tank, and she actually told her oncologist that I was there to do a treatment and we needed an oxygen tank and we needed butterfly syringes, and he wrote the prescription for all of it. It was amazing. I was so proud of her.
Wonderful.
And him too. I mean, he didn't have to write for that stuff. That was great that he was open to that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so we need hope, we need autonomy, we need to make our own decisions, which is part of autonomy, but and we need to seek some advice. And once in a while we might want to know how bad something is or what it is we're dealing with, but I've just learned so much about so many diseases and stuff that it just all boils down to simplicity. And diseases are diseases, which is, it's off the center. And what's the center? Acid alkaline balance, really. So, the thing about acidity is it's always accumulating. And, they actually, I'm a massage therapist, a former physical therapist assistant, but as a massage therapist, I cannot advertise. That's what I've told many years ago, that I can relieve pain. What do you think of that? I cannot tell people that I can relieve, or well, advertise anyway. I could probably, I don't know. That's what they say. There's so many businesses out there that say that, so I don't know why I couldn't say it. So
Because they have to have control on you.
Really? Really? I think I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, their reason why they say that is because you can't relieve pain. You just have to manage it. Now, I don't know what head person got the right to say something like that. Probably if they got an article in the medical journal. We cannot, eliminate pain. We can only manage it. Well, that is absolutely true. It's called an acid-alkaline balance in the body and in particular spots too. So yes, we have to manage it, but that doesn't mean we get to tolerate it. It means keep it down, keep it down. Now let's talk about management, which would be actually acid-alkaline balance. And that would be, is the video on me, Katherine?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see her face is, okay, her face is lit up on my thing here, and I just wanted to make sure that people are seeing me okay. What was I talking about? So acid-alkaline balance is what we have to get. And so we deal with the systemic and the localized. And when they try to manage the pain, they're doing a cover-up of it. They're never addressing, they might be addressing in minor ways, but not major enough to eliminate it, because we wouldn't want to eliminate pain, I mean, they wouldn't want to, So they're just maybe getting it down just enough to shut you up, and then it comes back up, so you can come back for a pill or a treatment, and it comes back down, or whatever, just to get you hooked on, there's the answer, came back, there's the answer, So to have them believe in, am I being radical or what, Leilani? But I'm not. I am setting millions of people free in this world. And I hope that millions of people will get radical and follow me and get the answers to their pain. So what we want to do is not just bring it down and get them back there. We want to get it down and get rid of it, so that the balance is way down. Like if there's a glass, full, you want to get it down to like every day would be like 20% full of pain, and your body just sort of like you eliminate it, you manage it, but it never gets up. I mean, if it happens to get up 40-50%, then it's like you just take a day of rest or something. So you help your body get down to where there's just that making of the acidity and getting rid of it. But you never want to get up to 80-100%, because then you're going to scream for something emergency, like, I need a pill or a chiropractic appointment or something, So to have it down that 20% level, we have to do a lot of things, and I can see that your body is way depleted. You do need some massages, darling. You've got toxins and stuff.
Well, I was told I wasn't allowed to have any massages as long as I had cancer. And that's what another massage therapist told me.
That's old school now, and she must be an old therapist. That's all I can say to that. You just look up, I suppose, just, I don't know if I saw an article, and it might be the ABMP, or you can do American Massage Therapist, AMTA. I think it's the ABMP, like articles they had, trying to make articles and stuff. They had, it is no longer contraindicated to have, do massage with cancer. It's never contraindicated. It's you have it because it helps the immune system, helps everything. Of course it helps the immune system. It gets rid of your toxins, Well, she's just taught old school, and she's trying to be cautious. Well, if it were me, I go, give me a massage. I'm not going to sue you. What do you want me to sign here? I'll get a statement from a lawyer. Just give me a massage. Of course, I wouldn't want that therapist in the first place, you know, but that's what the thinking of everybody, you know. If I had breast cancer, I would massage my breast. I would massage my breast and get the blankety blank out there. But I would do other things to get the systemic things, you know, going. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have someone else massage you unless there's a part that you can't fix. If I had a headache, I'd put my hand up here. You know, if I had toothache, I'd go like that, or, you know, sinus headache or something, you go like that shoulder. You do that. When there's, oh my goodness, I get off on there. So to manage that pain, we don't want to manage, we can manage to keep it right in the nipple, so it's, then we want to help your system to be not so acidic. And mostly it's the beverages, because they're poured in quickly, they're drank just for fun, really, and it's a skin thing, it's a social thing, it's what you do to get up in the morning. So I have found, and I tell you, I have done my research, and you can fight with me all you want, but why don't you do my program and then you find out it's true. You have to find the things that are inflammatory for you, but it's dietary, and that is not necessarily you. I'm just, because I haven't asked you a thing, I just met you. But in people's lives, it's mainly the beverages, and it's of the beverages, mainly coffee in people's lives. And did you drink coffee in your life?
I have in the past, like before I found out about the cancer, it was like 2 and 3 and 4 cups a day, every day for, I guess, 2 or 3, 4 years. But I guess I've only had it maybe, I can't even count 5 times on my hands that I've had it since.
Yes.
But now I do decaf too.
Nope, no coffee, zero, no decaf either. See, coffee itself is inflammatory. The caffeine in it is even more inflammatory. However, there's other beverages that are as well. And that's my list that I have found that are inflammatory in people's system. These are main things in most of the people. There's a few other things that are occasional. But the list is mainly the beverages, and that's coffee, tea, any kind of tea, pop, energy drinks, colored and flavored, artificial drinks, anything that's colored and flavored, and sugars and carbs. The breads are inflammatory, grains, I should say, or most of the grains, and chemicals and illegal drugs. Nicotine as well, nicotine and all this cigarette stuff, you know. But for most people, like you said, you got gluten-free, and that has helped a lot, I bet. And on my program, you would be getting better faster. And I wish you could come and see me. Come see me.
Where do you live?
In South Dakota.
Never been there.
Come see me for a week or a month, and I'll change your life. I will. You will say it. I mean, you're going to have more energy than what you have now. You'll have a better attitude, and you'll feel better. And that's all I say.
Well, are you on Facebook?
I am. And you could probably follow my name, find my name, but I also have a one for my businesses. I have 2 businesses, and then 2 towns I do massage therapy in, and then also I have one for my pain relief site, and that is Pain is Illegal. So you can go to painisillegal.com, or you can go to the Facebook /Pain is Illegal. Search for me in that way. So yeah, we can connect, and I can coach you, but I just go through a lot of things for you, and it's just for you. It's to enlighten you. It's not to tell you what to do. I didn't even ask Katherine how she's doing. She is very smart. And so I didn't bother her.
That she is.
I'm busy with my own life. I figured if she had any more questions, she'd call. Well, I think we did talk once. We were talking some business or something, and I said, "How you doing?" Or I don't know. She said, "But something." You know, she was doing something. I go, "Not that," yeah. And she corrected. And she go, "Oh, you know," she corrected that. And now she's, you know, that's all it took. And that's why I really require. Now, she's an extraordinary case. I mean, that I let her just connect with me because she wants her pain gone, for one thing. I know
Oh,
that.
I know, and I understand her pain.
She has got excruciating pain from
Yes.
the pudendal nerve. If anybody
Yes.
look that up, it's Pudendal, pudendal nerve. And you find out where that innervates and how painful it is and how impossible it is for the medical profession, the healthcare profession to relieve it, and what all people do to get rid of that excruciating pain. I knew that she'd call me if she needed me. But anyway, so she did adjust something and it helped a lot. But if she would, you know, call me next week, we could, you know, adjust a few more things. And if she'd fly out here and see me, I just betcha she would be having less pain if she just like take the time to come out here. So anyway, but if she reduced at least her stabbing pain, number one, that is hope. Number two, it's showing the facts. It's showing the facts that that was causing that stabbing pain. And the third thing, it is in the process of healing. Now, let me talk about that pain and how we gradually get it. You know, it's like we go, oh, you know, or, you know, we have pain someplace and it just comes, you know, whew. And then, you know, for maybe a year or a few months or whatever, it comes more often. Oh, you know, that's twice a week or something, or you know what I mean? And that's 3 times, and it's pretty soon, oh my gosh, I think I'm waking up almost every day with that pain someplace, you know? And pretty soon I got it all the time. That's how pain talks to us. It could happen in more speedy or more slow process. But we aren't paying attention to that initial pain. We're not saying, oh, I think, you know, whatever it is, wherever it's at. We're not stopping and answering it. We aren't saying it's illegal right now. No more pain. No more. I'm going to call up Ethelyn. We aren't doing that. And we all got a life, but I'm working to make my life more whole and natural and provide an environment for myself so that I can deal with things, because we all have this, you know, this level that comes up. We got to bring it down. It's not so much emotional. I'm not talking that. That's just a little added thing that can bother us, you know, but it is more physical. And Katherine has, you know, really went out into the other realms, emotional and mental and spiritual and everything, because she couldn't find a physical answer, because she didn't find me. And the reason is she didn't call out to the universe loud enough. That is why, because she would have ran across me sooner if she would have asked for the answer, because she didn't think, I'm just throwing this out because I didn't talk about it. She didn't think that there was any other physical answer. She thought that this was forever. You know, I hurt myself and now I have to deal with it, because they have indoctrinated us to think that we have to deal with something the rest of our lives, you know, and no more of that. I said, no more. And she's like, really?
Well,
So,
I think most people, not all people, but most people, I would say a good percentage of people, we allow our mind to let us manipulate ourselves into thinking. And a lot of times we can exacerbate our pain more by our way of thinking or our mental.
well, it's actually called fear. And the reason we have fear is lack of hope. Lack of hope, you know, is because of lack of facts. If once we get the facts and we can envision the answer and the hope, and that's what starts it. And that's why everybody needs me. How about that? Because I want to give them that hope, that answer. I want them to talk around and figure out those situations that's causing it. And it is a total, it's a total package thing, but it's little things. And you know what? I could spend a few minutes with just 1 minute. I could tell someone what their problem is in like one sentence. It depends on the problem. In one sentence, or I could take two, or I could take a, maybe a little paragraph, or I could take a page. I could take 30 seconds, 2 minutes, an hour, or 90 days, or a year. I don't care how long it takes. Just keep coming till you get it licked. And that's why I have massage clients. They don't really listen to my programs. No, they love my massages because they're just thorough and they're wonderful, but they'll come back once in a while. I got a pain. They don't even think about it. They come in there and go, Ethelyn will set me straight. It's like, and even if they do something wrong to cause it, they know I'll just get it out of there with just that anti-inflammatory massages that I do, and then I'll go, oh, you're doing that. And they go, yeah, I better stop doing that. We just get back and doing stuff again, and so we go, I started that again. That's why they need to see me. It's like we're in the world and we just need that rejuvenation just to go, get back and get back on the road. And it's like, because we are so indoctrinated, especially if you've been in the medical profession, it is so in us. Like my sister has been LPN, which isn't even an RN, and that was many years ago that she did that. And it's hard to get out of her system. It really, really is. And
and I'm an LPN too, but Katherine can tell you, I worked psychiatric nursing. I worked drug and alcohol detox. So I've been in that and I know what it does to your body. But it's like I've been open-minded and I'm 100% for alternative because all the chemicals, that they put in you, you have a side effect from it. Oh, we'll give you another pill for that side effect. And then you have a side effect, and that's where you end up with 20 or 30 pills.
There you go. And you know it. And I think the world knows it as well. They don't want to admit it. But if we can keep that going, every pill pushes you in a certain direction. And because it's shoving that answer at you, that balance, instead of just finding the answer and actually just feeding the body. I'm really going to be gardening a lot in my future because that really is an answer for everybody, including myself. And I was just thinking about compost as I was driving this morning, and why put all those chemicals on when you just have to feed the plants? And that's what we do with disease as well. We just have to feed our bodies. When we just have to feed it, and it'll just like start growing. I am going to be so growing greens and plants. I love them now. I used to not be able to eat the green part. It's like, you like romaine lettuce? I just eat the hearts. Now I look at the hearts and I say, what is that? Throw it away. When I was sicker, I couldn't stand the greens. And now it's like, this is not green enough. I can't, this is January and I need some sunlight on these because I only have like 2 leaves on the whole thing that's green, Like I gotta grow my own, So your whole body changes and you have to feed it. And I'm craving those greens because I'm craving more alkalinity in my body, more building up. And so each person, like I don't need to tell Katherine much, but each person needs an individual coaching from me so that we can work on, well, some people can walk away and go, okay, I'll do that. And they have a total idea. Like they work in the kitchen. They've done some things like that before, and they're on YouTube. They've read books. I'll get a book. They just get it done. They're off. But other people, well, what are you eating for breakfast? And you know, and I help them, oh, how about this, you know, and I help a person to change that. Like my sister, I said, right away, you're going to do this. First of all, she asked me, so that's why I told her. But otherwise, well, actually, I really actually told her very gently in the beginning, and then she like goes in and does a whole bunch of, she just like goes right at it. I don't even like the stuff that she does because it doesn't taste good, but she can do it. But then she goes off and drinks the coffee and eats the sugar, and that feeds it. The acidity of the coffee and the sugar will feed it. And so I said, you can't do both, or you're going to go, it's going to get worse. You have to go back, and they'll say, don't try the alternative because that doesn't work. Really? I wonder if we took a data sheet of how many people die from, even though they're on your therapy, you know, I mean, I wonder what that percentage is, you know, and people are getting so much more enlightened with diet that that people are changing everything already on our own, you know, because we're more enlightened. But if we would just eat canned foods and all this stuff you buy in the grocery store, we just get sicker and sicker, you know, and that's why, and you don't even know why what's happening. And then you have your morning coffee or tea. Oh, I drink tea. No. Now, if it's herbal tea and it's not very strong and you're drinking it for a reason to balance the body, such as my weakness is my gallbladder, and the liver doesn't like that the gallbladder isn't so happy. It's just an inherited thing. I'm German. We had a lot of lard and greasy things growing up, you know, and I think my parents were both like that, you know, growing up on the farm. You ate a lot of lard, you kind of greasy stuff, but actually lard is better than what they give us nowadays, you know. But I would say gallbladder is probably a weakness for me. So dandelion tea would be very good to build up and feed the gallbladder and liver. So if I want to have a cup of tea, it'd be dandelion root, but I want it natural. I wouldn't want it roasted. You know, you want to have it and you don't want it so strong. You just want to drink it on a maintenance kind of thing that would be to like feed you. Or if I would have menstrual cramps, or then I would have something in that direction that would more balance me, you know. If I had heart problems, maybe some hawthorn, or stomach problems, or, you know, something that builds up bones is comfrey tea. You know what, you start learning what your body wants and needs, but you don't overdo it. You do it as a lifestyle, as a variety, and you know what you're doing. And you don't buy it in the store unless you know that it's not irradiated, because the irradiation, Miss Nurses, is acid forming, acid producing, and you guys know that. It's very acidic. It leaves a red mark on your body. It leaves inflammation. And that when they do that in cancer, it's to destroy. They're trying to find something to burn the cancer out, to destroy it. And again, you never destroy in order to build up. You never do that. You never destroy in order to build up. You just build all the time. If you can take something out, if it's encapsulated, you can take it out, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. Because your body would have to dissolve it and make it smaller, you know, and it just takes a little burden off. And after the surgery, it helps you lay straight and you lay just on the couch and you get your rest, and you know, everybody knows not to bother you, and they bring you your water, and they cook your food for you, or they prepare your food for you, you know. So it helps. Surgery helps, because then people know to take care of you, and you aren't working there day and night, you know. So go have the surgery. Maybe you'll get better faster, you know. But what was I saying now about the teas? Well, chamomile tea is, you know, helps to relax you a little more, and just different teas help that. But they should be non-irradiated, and that grocery store doesn't have that. I would grow my own of any tea. And then non-irradiated, and just a variety all the time, and know what you're doing. And you can make some combinations, like, One is chamomile and peppermint, something like that. Peppermint always makes everything taste better. You know, when company comes, I can bring peppermint tea out or chamomile peppermint because it just tastes good. And, you know, most people won't refuse that. And they'll say, what a nice visit with you, Ethelyn, you know. You know, so because it's such a friendly tea. Uh, you know, we find things that will heal and balance. But otherwise, guess what you drink? Water. That is what we're made to drink. We find a good source of water and it's made to drink. That's what we drink. So that's what we have to drink, and we have to drink plenty of it. And the formula, Miss Nurse, is you take your body weight, divide it in half, and that's what your body needs for regular metabolic function. So if you are 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces, and 96 ounces is 3 quarts, over 3 quarts, you know, or 96 is 3 quarts, you need over 3 quarts. That's for regular metabolic function. And you need more than that because you've got an acidic state. So we have to sort of balance the body a little bit, and we've got to wash some toxins out, you know. So most people need more than that because the ounces that we need would be what we need for the heart to beat, the brain to function, because the brain can't get dehydrated. If the brain gets dehydrated, it doesn't function well. It's called memory. Yeah. And then, see, dehydration is an acidic state. I'll get back to that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Talking about memory. That's what we're talking about. So you need your water for the heart to beat, the blood to have the right thickness, and also the bowels and the urine to function. The kidneys are going to dehydrate without, you get kidney stones when you don't have enough water. Doctors are now telling people go home and drink no coffee and drink a lot of water. Now they're telling them, thank God, to add a little lemon. I had a client say, you think I need to continue drinking the lemon? I said, how long has it been since you had your kidney stones? I don't know, 6 months or a year. I go, get off of it, you're good. You know, you just drink it once in a while when you want to and stuff. But as long as you cut out that coffee will mess up. It causes gallstones. See, they cover up all this stuff with their research. It's not research. It is advertising manipulation is what that is. They cover up that it causes acidity, that it causes gallstones, that it causes breast cancer. All this stuff is research that is proven, but they cover it up. And I'd like to be able to find that somewhere in the journals because it is proven. And there are a few old nurses that remember that stuff, and a few old health seekers too. But I think it's illegal for them to say all this stuff and put it out there as research and covering it up like they do. And then they put it, all the advertising for all the commercial, you know, the big companies for coffee, they're going to say, oh, someone found something good about it. Well, if I put one little speck of salt in a kettle of water that is poison, would it be salt in there? Would it be, or if I put one little good thing in a kettle of poison, can you say it has minerals in it? Can you say, no? Of course you can say minerals added, or, oh, it's good for you because it has that in it. Well, of course it has that in it, but we aren't going to say how much and how beneficial it is. But way back when before the coffee bean was roasted, it still had some, you know, medicinal benefits. But when do you use that coffee? When it's medically, in other words, that doesn't mean healthcare profession. It means when it's functionally necessary to balance you. And that's very rare. I always say it's about when you walk 3 days in the snow and the blizzard and you can't warm up when you finally get to home. Well, yeah, you know, then you can use a little coffee to warm you up, but that would maybe be a half a cup every 6 hours and you get your motor going. But first, after you rest for 3 days, because your system is exhausted, you rest first, then you can start getting that motor going. And I wouldn't even use it. I would not even use it. There was only one time in my life that was recommended that I drink a Coke. It has something in it. A real Coke has something in it, and that it just gave my adrenals a kick. I drank no coffee, no tea, no anything bad, no sugar. And I came to my herb lady and I said, why am I so tired? And she went through everything on her list, couldn't find anything. Finally, she found a list. She goes, is it something you need to drink? We went through a whole thing. Is it Coke? She knew that there was something in that Coke, and it helps to kick those adrenals to get it out, because it's such a poison. Coke is such a poison that the adrenals go, oh! The adrenals just woke up. I was so filled with toxins that my adrenals were so oppressed that that the adrenals couldn't function anymore. So I snapped them like that with a medicine, and it was called Coke. But she said I only needed a half a can. I drank a whole one. I finally felt better. The next 3 days, I just drank a little bit, and after 3 days, I was pulled out of it. But that's unusual circumstances. But you don't need this stuff unless it's like I was just toxic, and I could not get my adrenals going again. But that's like 1 in a million. I'll tell you. Don't be telling me all these things. Hardly ever do we ever need that. But you can have one stored in your medicine cabinet just in case. I can't see you, Lonnie. You're disappearing. Anyway, any more questions? Is it time to go? I think we spent over an hour here.
We're way past. Leilani, did you have any other questions?
I'm done. Thank you very much. Very informative.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, call me if you need any help.
Will do.
Wonderful. Good to meet you.
I will be putting Ethelyn's contact information in the description on the video. I will not lose this one. And that way you'll be able to contact her. She actually has several programs that she offers to people. She's got this one site. I'll be sure to put up both of her sites. I know on one of her sites, she has it's almost like a monthly donation. It's as low as $5 a month and as high as 50 or something. I can't remember. But, depending on what services you want from her. So she's very, very reasonable. And I just want, because I will hashtag this pudendal nerve damage, and I know some pudendal people are going to come across this. I just want to say that when I was first on the phone with Ethelyn, I had resistance to her. The minute I heard she was a massage therapist and a physical therapist assistant, I immediately got resistant with her, because I have seen so many people completely ruined. Matter of fact, several of our people that committed suicide actually went to a massage therapist or a physical therapist and were told the wrong thing and got into the point of pain where they just felt like they were never coming out and took their life. And so the minute she told me her credentials, like I was not listening. God told me to keep listening, and because I listened to what God tells me to do, I stayed on the phone with her, thankfully. And I want you to know that even though she's a massage therapist and a physical therapy assistant, she does not operate like a typical one. Like, she understands when the body has pain, it's screaming for help. She's not, most massage therapists, and especially physical therapists, say you have to push through the pain, push through the pain, push your pain.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot push through pudendal pain. You just can't do it. And there's other pains too that are like that as well. But you have to learn to listen to your body. And that's something that, even though I thought I was listening, I wasn't listening closely enough. And now I'm listening much more closely, and I'm not pushing through anything, because that doesn't work. You really have to let your body coach you here, let Ethelyn coach you here, and take some actions. A diet, people are resistant to changing diet. I understand it. Sometimes it's money related. If you have very little money, you survive on grains. A lot of people do, but the other thing to note is that I don't think that one thing is necessarily bad for every person. Like, each person has I have different food allergies. I used to be allergic to avocados and strawberries and all these things until I detoxed my body enough to where I can eat those now without any problem. But a lot of people don't realize that they're dealing with a food allergy, and you can get some really bizarre symptoms. Like, I've known somebody that used to, his heart would go up to like 280, 300 heartbeats a minute, and they did all these surgical ablations on his heart to try to stop it from doing that. And then he came to the naturopath that I was working for at the time. We did a food diary and found out it was a soy allergy. He had like 7 or 8 ablations on his heart, and it was a soy allergy. So find somebody, you got somebody right here that will listen to you and help you work it out on a personal level, because we're all so very different. But I just want to shout out to my Pudendal people. You can trust Ethelyn. Like, she's not going to push you to be doing things wrong. As a matter of fact, it wasn't just one thing I was doing wrong. It was several things I was doing wrong. And I don't want to give out the secrets, because Ethelyn, you're a jewel to me, and you should be paid for your knowledge. And that's the way I feel about it. So, but I'm just telling you, get a session with her, let her talk to you. She's more than generous with her time, and just so very, very wise in her ability to listen. And she understands pain. And really, her heart is to eradicate it. We should not have to tolerate pain. We should not have to, live with it. We should get rid of it. And there are things that can be done. These people that kill themselves, I know I was so close myself. It is because of lack of hope. You nailed it right on the head. It is lack of hope. It is being in excruciating pain while doctors and, unfortunately, spiritual gurus say, this doesn't feel truthful to me. Don't let somebody tell you you're not in pain if you're in freaking pain. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I just want to take a doctor, and they're mostly men, so pardon me. I just want to take their parts out of their pants and just hold a blowtorch on it and say, okay, tell me. Tell me that it's in your head. But they do. They try to tell us, oh, you're just emotional, you're just whatever. Don't listen to that shit, you guys. There are things causing your pain, and there are solutions to it. So thank you so much, dear. I love both of you so dearly. And we'll be back next week. Who knows what we'll talk about, but we'll be here. Love you guys.
Love you, Beth.
Thank you so much, Ethelyn. Thank you, Leilani.
Thank you.